Well, talk about a great Mother's Day gift for Marvel. I don't know how many people over there are mothers and celebrating. I assume it must be quite a few, but it's definitely a good weekend for the MCU. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 having a fantastic hold, but it is a little bittersweet for Disney. We'll get into why in just a moment. All right, folks, we're getting you ahead of that culture curve, explaining entertainment. It's a big deal. It's what we wait for each and every day, trying to find out what we're going to go watch, what we're going to go see, what we're going to go do. And because entertainment matters so much to you, we cover it right here. Like, share, subscribe, and you can stick it to the algorithms when you click it. We're talking about the notification bell. Something that is sticking it to consumers in a good way is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It turns out that when Marvel makes a decent movie, or shall I say a good movie, scored it an 8 out of 10 here on this channel, well, fans will come watch it. The bad news for Marvel is that they have damaged themselves badly enough that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 opened lower than anticipated. However, positive word of mouth combined with good exit tracking scores has proven to be enough to get this movie to hang on. Let's look to see how the media is spinning it a little bit, and then why it may be a little bit on the side of bittersweet for Disney. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, best second weekend hold for the MCU. And I don't enjoy the categories that they use, so I'm not going to go over to that. I don't like the way that they phrase these things because, and no insult meant to Anthony D'Alessandro out of Deadline, but I don't enjoy where the pandemic is, where it ends, what is post, what is pre. I don't enjoy any of that. The only thing that seems to be consistent is that the original Sonic the Hedgehog was the last pre-pandemic movie, but after that, they seem to move those goalposts, and I just don't care for it. Let's get into the article, though. The weekend box office continues to be a place of haves and have-nots, with Disney Marvel Cinematic Universe's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 posting the best second weekend hold for a Marvel Cinematic Universe title after whenever we're going to call that ended, even though there's not a strong line to show us when it is, at a great, fantastic, wonderful for Marvel, at least 51% drop. And that gets it to 58 million. By the way, folks, after we finish this weekend, it may actually manage to hit 60 million. They will reassess on Monday. Frankly, I would like to see it hit 60 million, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. That's better than the 55% second weekend holds of the two previous Guardians of the Galaxy movies. However, they likely performed a little bit better in terms of box office when adjusted for inflation. After a lower than usual MCU summer start last weekend of 118.4 million, that A Cinema score is showing its value for the final James Gunn directed title in the franchise. Let's note a little bit of spin here. It says after a lower than usual MCU summer start. They're having to say that. D'Alessandro is having to say that because this is not lower than usual for the MCU any longer, unless you narrow it down to summer, I suppose, in which case maybe there's a way to wiggle through and say, oh, it's lower than usual, and make it seem like Marvel's doing dandy, when all of you out there know that's not the case. Ant-Man Quantumania opened lower than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and it was the film just prior. The last time we saw a second weekend hold this strong during the pandemic for an MCU title, which, by the way, makes no sense because I thought we were just comparing post-pandemic. But hey, we'll go along with it. Like I said, goalposts being moved all the time because there is no actual line for this. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings with a 54% ease. By the way, reason that was able to hold on to that degree is because it opened so low that really didn't have far to go down. Since then, most MCU titles have been in the deep 60 percentile, including last summer's kickoff, Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness, almost at 70%, and even the pandemic high, Spider-Man: No Way Home, also close to 70%. Although, and I suspect that D'Alessandro knows this, that is a complete distraction. Spider-Man: No Way Home had that sort of a drop because of a fluke holiday situation, not because it actually dropped. If you look at the entire week, the second week of Spider-Man: No Way Home, it did fantastic. So that is a little trickery going on there. And, well, it's D'Alessandro's job to know how this works. Sucks that it's being presented that way. And, we hate to be rough on people, but we got to call it like it is. And then it goes into the book club and some other stuff. But I really wish it would talk about the Super Mario Brothers movie, because the fantastic thing about the Super Mario Brothers movie is that it only had a 31% drop. This thing just continues to go and go. It's 3-day weekend, 13.3 million. It is now the fourth highest grossing animated film of all time at the box office. I suspect it will take the third spot. We'd been pretty bullish in the past that it might be able to take the second spot or even the biggest spot. Unfortunately, that is not going to happen, as Japan and South Korea did not come through as needed in the Golden Week for whatever reason. So, sucks a little bit for Mario, but at the same time, it's doing really well. Let's take a look now at the Hollywood Reporter. This is by Pamela McClintock. Guardians 3 enjoys heroic hold. And then it talked about just what a flop this book club 2 is. No
Make sure to
bueno
catch
for
the
it.
Pro Show Thursdays 5 to 7 Eastern Time. Entertainment Explained, The Culture Curve Conquered, live with Pro and all his friends.
James Gunn's band of galactic rascals are proving their worth at the box office, as it enjoys one of the best second weekend holds of any title in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Goes on to talk about the 58 million, the mammoth 4,450 theaters that is holding, and we get more of the same, although in this case, we do get the reference, which was left out, that Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, which was a terrible, terrible movie and performed terribly, dropped 70%. Now, why does all of this matter? Why does it matter that that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 has the sixth best hold of any Marvel film? Well, because it sends a message to Marvel that, yes, you have damaged your brand, and yes, people will not come out in the same droves to watch your film on the first weekend, but they will still come out nonetheless. And if you give a good movie to them, well, word of mouth will carry people into the second weekend. It just comes down to the quality of your content. Should you produce more of Ant-Man Quantumania? Should you produce more of Thor Love and Thunder or Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? If that's what we're getting in the Marvels, then prepare yourself. Hunker down, Marvel. It's going to be very rough. And I suspect that that will be the case for the next year and a half. Marvel is going to have a very hard time. But if you give us stuff like James Gunn did with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, a flawed but still good movie that has a fantastic ending, then people will go. And that means that this is not superhero fatigue. It is not. It is quality fatigue. Quality fatigue with the Phase 4 abominations that we had that is leading to a Phase 5 dive, and hopefully, especially with the writer's strike taking place, giving Marvel more time to reassess, hopefully they can get to a Phase 6 fix with the X-Men and Fantastic Four, and hopefully being true to the source material and getting rid of the current modern day tropes and ideologies, the flavors of the day that don't hold up well and that divide audiences. You don't want to divide your audience. You want as many of them as you can to come to that theater. Looks like Guardians is starting to pick up a little bit. It's got a good chance of having a good hold for the third weekend as well. And all of this makes me happy, because if this had done extremely poorly at the box office, then I don't know what the message would be to Marvel except that they are in deep trouble. But with it having a hold such as it is, and perhaps now having a chance at breaking even, it says to Marvel that if you put out good stuff, then good people will give you a chance. But if they continue to screw up, I suspect that also will go away. I also look over here at the Super Mario Brothers movie again, 13.3 million in 3,800 locations, rising to 1.21 billion globally. And the same lesson is learned here. Treat your fans well. Don't divide your consumers. Present something that the majority of people can enjoy. Don't put in there divisive content that drives people away. And you'll be rewarded. I don't know that we're going to get that out of The Little Mermaid. I don't know that we're going to get that out of Elemental. I do suspect we will get it out of movies like Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning with Tom Cruise. So I think that this could be a very good summer for the box office. I don't know that it's a great summer for Disney. The bittersweet part about all of this, of course, is that James Gunn, who has now delivered to us a good Marvel movie, perhaps the first good Marvel movie since Spider-Man No Way Home, he is going to DC. He is going to the competition against Marvel. And he is there going to, I assume, create, and roadmap out all kinds of fantastic content. I hope that's a competitive pressure that will push Kevin Feige and Marvel to improve the MCU and return to what worked in the first 3 phases for the most part. Of course, there were some stinkers, but not nearly the number that we have seen as of late. I'll tell you another winner in all of this. You're looking at him right now, Chris Pratt, big winner. He is storming through the box office with both Super Mario Brothers. We assume he'll hold that role for years and years and years to come, playing Mario. He's also Starlord, and given what we know about this movie, we assume that he will continue to play that role for years and years and years to come. For those who had said that Chris Pratt's career was fading, they acted foolishly and put out foolish messages. Chris Pratt is one of the biggest stars currently in Hollywood, and I bet that he will continue to be one. So, overall, positive for Disney, although there is that twinge of sadness as they watch a fantastic writer and director escape out of their grasp, all because they mishandled a situation badly. And that, again, goes back to Robert Iger, who is now back in the saddle. Iger, if you will recall, mishandled the Roseanne situation, and then, to try to compensate, mishandled the James Gunn situation, which disintegrated much of the plans for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. My, oh my, that Iger, he is really in all kinds of messes lately. Had a fantastic run for so many years. But now lately, he just can't seem to get it together. Well, folks, I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that somewhere out there, if you have a mother that loves you, that you treat her well and you let her know just what a joy it is to be alive, because without her, that wouldn't be happening. So return the love to your mothers out there. And if you don't have a mother that loves you, or if you are missing a mother who is gone, I wish you all the joy and happiness in the world, and I hope that those big voids in your life, because moms are really important, I hope that they're filled with other people who will love you and embrace you and hold you close, and you will do the same for them. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
I just found out to get WDW Pro's information, where he gets his sources. I can't believe he uses. Wilton!
What?
We got a job to do. It's easy to hack into WDW Pro's computer.
You're kidding me. That's awesome. You know any other stuff?
Yeah, just Jonas Campbell told me.
Sweet.
Said Pro underpaid him or something.
A few minutes later.
There. Oh, awesome. Whatever. All I gotta do is
Whoa.
hack into this thing. It's gonna be so easy.
Yeah, this isn't a hack.
Grab this picture over here.
Leave it to me.
Oh, no. Oh, Wilson.
Job done. What?
No, all we had to do was use the picture because he uses Face Unlock. Now we gotta go to thatparplace.com and sub to him and his team on YouTube.
Oh, well, I already did that because I'm smart.